Hello and good morning and welcome back to a Kooky Corner of YouTube. Today I'm going to go through another 10 of my textile art books that I thought you might also like to see. They're in no particular order of preference. I've just grabbed a selection off my bookshelf and yeah, let's just get straight into it. The first one I have on my top of my pile is The Art of Whimsical Stitching. This is by Joanne Sharp. I have another book by her which was The Art of Whimsical Lettering, and this one obviously is to do with your stitching, so creative stitch techniques and inspiring projects. So let's have a look at the contents. Content says The Art of the Stitch, Sewing Studio, Building Your Fabric Stash, Fabric Colouring and Painting Palette, Thread Cetera, Artful Supplies. Lots and lots to have a look at here. There's also a section for projects and a section for sketchbookery. So lots to have a look at in this book. Nice, beautiful, bright pictures, which is something I love. I'm a big, bright colour person. It's a playful exploration of mixed media art, sewing, quilting, embroidery, all the things we love, isn't it? All the things we love. And who will love this book? It's for mixed media artists, general crafters, sewists and adventurous quilters looking to flex their creative muscles and take off in new directions of personal expression. Okay, so look at this. This is glorious. This makes me dribble. Annie, I know you're with me on this one. Dribblicious page. And that's just the introduction. So we've got the mixed media stitching basics. So lots to go through there, lots to read. Different kinds of fabric you can use: wool felt, PFD fabric that's prepared for dyeing, specifically like a cotton that's ready made for you to dye. Tips for colouring fabrics, so all acrylics. We've got some specific fabric paints there, Dynaflow, different mediums you can use, ink tints. We did that one on our owl. Neo colours you can use also. Neo colours is a good one to use on fabric because you get a really nice vibrant colour, as you do with the ink tints. Pitt artist pens, also useful. Dyeing fabrics, different kinds of ideas. I think we're going to do some of this in June. I have a plan. I have kind of planned to do florals in June. It's kind of been an owly month, I think, May. We've had a lot of owls, but I'm thinking florals and gardens, especially because June is kind of that time. So then we've got basic stitches, supplies and tools. I tell you, I could go on forever with this. You've got the colour wheel, stitch your own colour wheel, colour stories, trying to pick out colours that go together. If you're me, all the colours. Free motion stitching. So if you want to use your sewing machine, at the minute eschewing the sewing machine for more hand work, but this goes into both. So all the things that you can do on a machine you can do by hand. It's just a little slower. Fancy stitching pouch. So we're getting into the projects now. This doodle stitch journal looks quite cute. I like that. Yeah, loads and loads of like fabric applique stuff as well. Something that I love also. And something which will be coming up soon in June. I have something planned for that as well. I'll go through all this with you. Anyway, I seem to be going on forever with this book, but I do thoroughly recommend. It's a really good book. Lots of nice practical explanations, beautiful, bright pictures. That's a thumbs up from me for Joanne Sharp's The Art of Whimsical Stitching. And there's Joanne Sharp, a picture of her on the back there. Okay, the next one, Paint with Thread by Emily Ferris. This is more of your traditional embroidery, but with more of a free style to it, because Emily Emily always talks about painting with thread, and it really is just, look at that bee, look at all the detail on there. And when she talks about painting with thread, she basically means a long and short stitch. It's kind of like a filling in stitch. So yeah, painting with thread, long and short stitch, or silk shading. And she uses needle painting. That's what she calls this technique in all of her embroideries, and it's great for all these natural forms. So we've got butterflies. That's Emily. A little bit about her, different bits about tools and materials, hoops, and then the projects are just glorious. Look at that robin. Look at him. He's beautiful. Obviously, the bee who's on the front page is always going to grab attention. But she goes through these in proper detail. I mean, really thoroughly, so that you can't get this wrong at all. And it's just such a lovely book if you want to do some more realistic embroidery. The sunflower's pretty nice as well. I do like that too. And in the back of here, helpfully, she gives you some transfers, so you can just transfer these images onto your fabric and then just go with it. Robin. And she gives you them with or without a background, so that if you want to stitch a background in, or you just want to do the actual honeybee, then you can do that. So that's Paint with Thread by Emily Ferris, a step-by-step guide to embroidery through the seasons. The next one is Daydream Journals by Tilly Rose. I have another book by Tilly Rose. I can't remember what it's called now, the previous book. It's by Search Press, this one. A lovely, lovely book. Absolutely glorious for people who, like us, who want to just play around with fabric and thread. It's a fairly new book. This was in 2022 that this one came out. And it's all about creating a fabric journal. So we've got inspiration, where you start, so what are you going to make your journal on, how are you going to start planning it out. Keeping a daydream journal interesting, I like that. We've got some of these beautiful stitched scrolls that I love, and this is like a selection of all her journals. Written words, doodles, tools and materials, always a section on that. Then we've got the techniques, creating pages and backgrounds with colour washers, creating a vintage style. We've got Indian block printing there, I saw. And lots and lots and lots of techniques. So this is moving on to the cloth and thread. This is my favourite bit. At the minute, I'm loving this. Crazy patchwork, starting to stitch, joining cloths together. So you've got your running stitch, your back stitch. Those are my go-tos in the main. How to finish off your projects. Labels and tags, that's nice. Yeah, so lots of beautiful pictures to look at here. I love this. I think I know quite a few people are doing something like this in the Discord channel. If you're interested in dropping into the Discord channel, it's run by Annie Claxton from Arty Farty Annie's, and we all get in there and have a good chin wag about lots and lots of things. Just jump straight in. If you're a bit confused about Discord, as I was, then I think on Annie's channel there's 101 of how to use Discord. So pop over to Annie Claxton's channel to check that out. And then come and join us on the channel. There we go. So lots and lots of things here that will keep you very, very busy. And also a nice introduction to stitching techniques there as well. So we've got feather stitch, fly stitch, herringbone stitch, star stitch. Plenty to keep you busy. That's Daydream Journals by Tilly Rose. Memories, ideas and inspiration in stitch, cloth and thread. This one is a lovely book by Katrina Whitten, also by Search Press, and it's called Hand Stitch Landscapes and Flowers. Now, this is a really nice technique. You can see I'm going floral here, can't you? Look at that. That's just beautiful. And so this is just, yes, I can't remember when this came out. I'll have a look in a minute. But background fabric, so for backgrounds on this occasion she uses organza, so it kind of gives that, and then you stitch over the top of it, which is something that I'm really interested in at the minute. Different kinds of thread and yarn, equipment that you will need, embellishments, lovely. Designing and embroidery, this is really interesting. Composing the design, how to get your idea onto paper and then to make it into something that you can stitch. And the stitches, again, lovely and self-explanatory, but lots and lots of stitching ideas to go there. Stem stitch, lazy daisy. This I just find absolutely beautiful. I love this, and putting some ideas down about a stitched flower field would be awesome. I've got many plans. This is great. This is the stem of the protea. This is South Africa's national flower, and look, that's been done with couching and all kinds of organzas behind the threads. Working with organza. Organza is a fairly cheap thing to buy as well. Fabric-wise, you can grab yourself a whole load of bits of that. I got a whole section of them from the works at one point, where they just got a pack of about 10 or 12 different small pieces, and fairly easy to come by. So yes, lots to look at here. This is just glorious. I love cornflowers, and the techniques and everything is explained really well. Lots and lots of pictures to explain exactly what's going on in. Oh, that's lovely. It's all lovely. It's all beautiful. Yeah, all the different flowers. Hydrangea. I presume it's more just wondering if it goes in order, like from beginner to more experienced. But no, probably you just dive in and go, what appeals to you? So there we go. Hand stitched a landscape and flowers by Katrina Whitten, 10 charming embroidery projects with templates. So there are templates in there. I've seen them. Yes, there they are. I'm going back in time now. This is one of my very first Batsford books. Batsford books I adore. The latest incarnation of a Batsford book has a really beautiful cloth cover texture. It feels like velvet. But this is one of my very first ones, and this is how long ago was this? Let's have a look. 1996. So yeah, way back when I was at art college, I actually bought this then. And it is Jan Messent, who is just an internationally renowned embroiderer who did so many things. And there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of information on design and how you'd put things together, and looking at the Hastings embroidery, the Bayer tapestry. Just so much information. Lots of beautiful pictures of Jan's work as well, and colour exercise. Beautiful pictures. So I think this is more of like a learning. There's books with projects in, and there's books where you learn, and these actually let you explore your own thoughts. This is what I think about these. So if we look at the contents, we've got word association, the use of colour constructions, the human form, music, illusion and symbolism. And this, if you want to dig deeper into embroidery or the embroidered form or using threads and fabrics, I think this is a great one to look at, because you have other people's work in here as well, and they explain what they used as inspiration. So this is a real good learning book. I got this because I did textiles as part of my art college course, and it's just beautiful. So very well recommended. Jan Messent's World of Embroidery. Okay, so my microphone cut out at this point, and this is me showing you the Kay Facet Patchwork book. If you have anything to do with quilting, or you buy lots of quilting materials, then you will know Kay Facet is the god of beautiful fabrics and putting them together. Kay Facet I came across the very first time I heard of Kay Facet was when I was into knitting in a big way, and I had a lot of his knitting patchwork knitting books that were from Rowan, because he used to do a lot of patterns for Rowan. So yeah, looking through this book, you can see some of the beautiful quilts that Cave has made. Some of them are absolutely glorious, and there's one with some beach huts on it that I love. I'd like to make that one if I ever grow up. In order to be able to put these things together. But I adore all of his colour choices, the way he puts colours that you think would not go together, and they absolutely do. And this book is really very much recommended for anybody who's into that. These next two books feature Kaz Holmes, who is one of my favourite embroiderers. The covers of these books, I think I'm explaining here about the covers being so beautiful. They're the Batsford books with the velvety cover. And Kaz Holmes, this one, The Embroidering for Every Day, was created during the period where we were all locked down and we couldn't get out of our houses. And Kaz similarly was in the same predicament that we were all in. So she then homed in on things that she could look at around her home. So you're looking at everyday objects, things in the garden, and the forward explains all of the ideas that went into this book and why Kaz has homed in on these things. And obviously it was a difficult time for all of us, and I'd imagine for somebody who teaches for a living and teaches this beautiful art that we all know and love, then it must have been really hard. But she did absolutely throw herself into putting together all of these beautiful ideas and projects into this book to say how we could look at everyday things, how we could take a spoon or a cup or a tea bag even, and then delve into it and find a way to make these things beautiful, to bring out the joy of the beauteousness of the things that we look at every day. And some of the ways that she puts things together, like in book form, and going through different techniques of how to put image onto cloth. Really, really well worth the time to buy this book and have a look through that. The Nomad at Home, Poetry of the Everyday. These are the things that she really went into depth with, and I absolutely thoroughly recommend this book to anybody who would like to delve more deeply into the everyday kind of thing that we all know and love. Just so much to look at. Cup collages. This is a lovely thing to do, to collage your own drinking cup onto some background. Flower. The kitchen, cupboard and garden. She really did explore everything that it was possible to explore when we couldn't actually get out to explore. So much to have a look at here, so much inspiration. Also dotted around, you've got little tutorials on how to put some of these things together. I like these books because they don't necessarily tell you what to do, which is sometimes what we need. We sometimes need to go through something step by step. But I also like the books that give you like food for thought and make you think about how you would personally like to use some of these things. I love this. I love all of this. So the Kaz Holmes books I absolutely adore, and I do believe she has got a channel on YouTube. It's not your usual kind of channel. I think she did some videos maybe for some of the students. These I love, these vessels, empty vessels. So 70 pieces of varying scale showing stitch repairs. I love this so much. So very much recommended is this one, Embroidering the Everyday, Found Stitch and Paint by Kaz Holmes. And in the same manner, we have Connected Cloth, it's just Kaz Holmes and Anne Kelly. So it's collaborative textile projects, which is like the complete opposite to, you know, homing in on yourself and things around you. This is branching out and sharing your ideas with another one, which is what she did with Anne Kelly. Well, I forgot her last name there. So mark making, changing surfaces, and it goes through Anne's approach to things as well. So Anne's different techniques as opposed to Kaz's techniques as well, and then joining these things together, transferring images. Stitch is a mark making tool, different mark making ideas there as well. Connecting work to others, so you could do a collaborative thing with a group of people. You could do, if you're working in a college or a school, you could have collaborative pieces that everybody joins in to make, which I think is great. Look at these. These are beautiful. So it even gives you ideas for wall display. Quilt art, community collaboration, things that you can do as part of your community. And then goes through some of the things that have already occurred, but the pictures in here are so inspiring. And this is why I love these Batsford books especially, because they really, really do go into lots and lots of detail. So that is Connected Cloth by Kaz Holmes and Anne Kelly. We've got two more Batsford books here. This one is called How to Be Creative in Textile Art, and this is by Julia Tristan and Rachel Lombard. And this is, if you are maybe a complete beginner to this, maybe you are just starting out, this is the perfect book and resource for anybody who just wants to learn how to start, what to do, and takes you in depth through all these beginning places. And just some of these pictures are wow. Well, so this one, where to start: turning your ideas into a project, selecting a theme, setting boundaries, and the purpose of a sketchbook. And looking at I love looking inside people's sketchbooks. I don't know if you're the same as me, but I love to see how people make notes and get their ideas down onto paper. And sometimes I forget to do this bit. A lot of the time I do, and I try and expand my ideas and try and make them so that it's something that I can follow. But sometimes I'm more intuitive and impulsive and I just have to get something done. So I vary between the two, but this, looking into people's sketchbooks, makes me want to do more and more. And you can then have the sketchbook as part of your artwork. One of my tutors at college, that was his thing. He was into books and making art books. So things that you can hold and flip through rather than sit on a wall that you look at. Much more tactile. So keeping a sketchbook, ideas for inspiration, gathering source material. So if you are also a teacher of textile arts, this is an awesome book because it gives you different ideas that you can pass on to your students. So you've got title, the inspiration, the primary source, and the secondary sources. So many good things in here. Putting together your collection. Mood boards. Mood boards are a great way to work if you want to get more in depth into maybe a series of pieces that you're making. But this this is the ideal book for that. Developing a design, mark making, block printing, resists wax, so batik, photocopying, scanning, collage. It goes into everything. Once you've done all that, then that page, then you move on to stitch and how to then get what you've got in your drawings and your sketches and trying to create that in fabric. And I think this is an awesome book for helping you to work through the minefield of what it's like when you first start to design and create your own ideas. How to Be Creative in Textile Art by Julia Tristan and Rachel Lombard. The next one is something that I'm getting into in a huge way. If you followed along with my small owl stitching tutorials, I had 3 of those to make this owl. I've got bits on this, I don't know where those are from. Then you'll know that this kind of thing is what I am absolutely all about at the minute. So Textile Collage. This is Mandy Paciullo's work. She has a couple of books that I love. It's a second-hand look. To Jane, best wishes from Mandy Paciullo. So it's actually got her signature in it. September 2018. I'm not called Jane, by the way. I bought this second-hand. So we have the introduction, different kinds of fabrics, hunting and gathering of where to find your fabrics. That's all part of the journey, isn't it? Finding these little scraps of goodness and joy. So curtain fabrics and linings are a great place to go. Thrift shops, obviously, finding fabrics that you like, whether they be on jeans or on a dress, and then using and repurposing those to make something beautiful. So yeah, flower and feed sacks. That's where we all started with this patchwork idea. Fabric archaeology, how to unpick things, dyeing, mark making, a lot of mark making going on here. Look at that. I mean, that's just beaut. I love that. Looking after the things, making sure you don't get the moths in them. And then we get to the make section. So you're looking at colour. Oh, beauteous. Composition, how to put things together so that they look right. That's always a thing that's really interesting and important. If it looks right to you, I say it's fine, you know, but if you're wanting to go more into depth of how to put things together, this is a glorious book. Finger turned applique. So if you didn't like the raw edges, I love the raw edges, but if you don't, then you can do finger turning where you're just turning under slightly and stitching down. I know Janet Bolton does a lot of that in her work, because I did a mini course with Janet Bolton many years ago and love her work also. Mixing paper and cloth. So scrap patchwork. More of Kaz Holmes's work here. You'll find Kaz Holmes crops up an awful lot in different things. And then the fabric collage technique, this is the kind of thing I'm loving, putting small scraps of fabric together and then stitching over in order to create a picture. Absolutely love that idea. That fox, the fox who's on the front cover, beautiful. So this is what I've been looking into a lot. Building up collage. Lots of animals. Birds, my loves, I love you. Look at him. He's just glorious. Major Tom, his name is. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of information in here. This, I have a plan to do, because I've got some old jackets and dresses that I want to start adding things into, because I am going to grow old disgracefully and I will be wearing whatever I want to wear. And if I want to wear that, I will be wearing it downtown to do my shopping. And I don't care. There's so many beautiful things and different directions you can go with this. Oh look, little cuff bracelets. Hadn't even seen that. Oh, very interesting. Nice. Little flower corsages. Love this. So, if you're interested in that, Mandy Paciullo, she has another book out that I got from the library that's also on my wish list at the minute. So there's a couple of books by Mandy out, but this one is the first one, I think, Textile Collage. And last but very much not least, should I say, is this, The Quilted Object by Inika Berlin. Inika Berlin I came across when she was doing, she did another book about, I'm going to go and grab it. I'm going to grab it. So this was the first book I had of Anika's, which is Landscaping Contemporary Quilts, Design and Technique. I just find it glorious. The whole of the thing is just beautiful. Look at it. The colours that are used in the sketchbooks. Look at this. That is a piece of, I think it's felted work with embroidery on top of it. If you know me, you'll know this is something I also love. And this is a Scottish landscape done in the beautiful style of wet felting and needlework. I also like Mo McKay's work as well. Love her work too. These are just beautiful. Elephants. So this is ripped strips of thin fusible vilene ironed on, placed on a calico backing and coated with several coats of watercolour. How beautiful is that? So yes, I've digressed, haven't I, again, but this is my thing. Colour and fabric. Just beautiful. That sings to me. Colours together like that make me feel happy. This is what floats my boat. But yeah, just glorious. Beautiful, beautiful work. So this was the first one I got. Again, Landscaping Contemporary Quilts by Inika Berlin. And then this one was the second one, which is Making Things with Quilt Art Techniques. So in the first book, it's looking at bigger pieces. It's looking at pieces that you probably put on display. Whereas this one is making things that are useful to you or beautiful to you. So looking at all these diary covers, all the things that we love, how to put these together. Journal quilts and sketchbooks. So lots. How to build up your own little sketchbook and equipment they're going to need. Journal quilting, inspiration. Oh, you could have so much fun just reading through these, and I just spend my time dribbling because I just love all the colours. Luchador landscapes and boxes. I've got some Luchador. I ordered some of that the other day actually, so I'm going to have to dig that out. Make some little boxes. Colouring Luchador. Experimentation. Materials and equipment. So there's quite a few things in here that you can have. Postcards and wall hangings coming up pretty soon on my channel at the moment because I've just started doing something, a little tutorial for you all. Doing the postcards, bags, using denim, decorated velvet bags, and a little sheep, just because. So yeah, that's my last one then. That is Inika Berlin, The Quilted Object. I hope you've enjoyed a look through these books. I think there were 12 in all. I started out with 10 and an extra one and then grabbed in the other Inika Berlin one for you to see too. Most of these I will link down below. I would imagine most of them are available. Some of them may be secondhand. Some of them are still in the shop. Some of them are brand new. So have a little look through, and sometimes finding these books in secondhand shops gives you such a thrill. It does for me. So having a little list of things that you want to find and then actually ticking them off your list is another one of my collectory hobbies, because because I am a magpie womble. Anyway, have a great day. Don't forget, if you've liked this video, there is another video on textile books further back in time, so have a look for that one for another set of 12 books. And yeah, if you've liked this, thumbs up and subscribe so that every time I upload, you can click the little bell, and the little bell will let you know when I have uploaded another video. Have a great day, and I will see you very soon with something else. Bye for now.